So I've actually been working on the 1600 a little bit. Biggest thing has been wiring and tidying. So I shortened up the spark plug wires a little bit so they fit. Hopefully they are in the right order. I completely wired in the X20, and then aside from just booting it and heat shrinking it in the bottom, that's ready. Plugged in the coil tower, and up here I am prepping for the fuse box. Not installed yet, but the main engine harness is wired in essentially, which is pretty cool. The only two question wires I had were the stepper open and stepper close on the idle valve, but after some Googling, it looks like that's reversible in software. So not a huge deal. And now I'm kind of over here looking at the brakes, which I'd kind of messed with a little bit before. I think the bubble flare on this rear line is not good. Sorry, that is left front. I believe that's right front, and then this is the new rear, because that was all screwy. But anyway, I've got some more of this copper nickel, and I've got quite a few more fittings to sort that out. I've got a brand new TII reservoir. I've got the clutch fluid line up here ready to go. I've got plenty of braided hose to get this into the master cylinder. And I have the master cylinder over here. Last time I worked on this car, which was eons ago, I had this out. And unfortunately, I snapped one of these little plastic things, which sucks. I don't know when that happened, but that was on the way down here. This has 5 open ports, so I'm going to use this for rear, I think. Plug these two. I will have to look at this. Maybe this is rear and these two are front. I don't even remember really, but anyway, I have 2 plugs for the non-needed ports. These are M10 by 1.0. Tough to find, but I found them. At some point I'll use these because each of the front brake calipers for a 2002 needs 2 lines, and I'm running the 1600 brake calipers right now, which is a single each. So there's that. After a cursory Google, on a 2002, each front caliper actually plugs into both circuits, which is kind of ingenious actually for avoiding brake failure. And then the rear is back here. So plugging one of each of the front circuits and have the rear open. So I'll probably at least make some hard lines. I've got this fancy bubble flare tool kit thingy, this thing right here. Even though, unfortunately, I do not have a vise down here, which I need to rectify immediately. But I'll at least get this thrown on the car and make a note that I need to order some more of these fluid fitting things. Ugh. So when it's cold out, this display really doesn't act up. But when it's warm, these pixels over here stop working. So I actually grabbed a little bit newer BMW professional unit out of a later model. I think it was a 335 from Quarry Motors, good friend Neil down in Florida. So I'm actually gonna swap that out. Hopefully it works without coating. I don't really know if it will or not. I think it should. These are just kind of display units. This one is the later silver lined knobs, which actually fits much better with the 07 that I've got. This was kind of an 06 holdover radio, and 06s had black knobs. 07, they went to this, and then I think in 08, they actually facelifted this entire panel, and the knobs changed again, and that's what this is out of. This unit's probably out of a car with HD radio. Mine doesn't have that, but again, these are kind of like the MIDs in an E39. They're pretty much just there to display information. So as long as I've got, basic information that carries over, I think I should be just fine. So looks like there's screws down here, which leads me to believe that I got to take this off somehow. Might do a quick Google just to make sure I don't break anything, but I'm probably just gonna start yanking on stuff till it comes out. Nothing to it. Literally just pull that climate control piece out. Got 2 Phillips screws, and then this, you just pull up on it. It should vacate the actual radio head unit. It looks like it works completely perfectly. It even saved all my data. So good to know. Excellent. Yep, everything's good. Very fine indeed. Even saved the presets, so this is definitely just a display. So I'm actually down at a buddy's shop. They've got this 86 325 ES that they actually bought from me 7 or 8 years ago. It used to be bronze beige metallic. Like I said, it's an 86 ES. It still has a 2.7, although it's been rebuilt. I'm down here because I just stripped all of the 2.7 computer Motronic 1.0 stuff off and converted it to 1.1. And we're in the process of just kind of trying to fire it up. I've done just basic troubleshooting. I've got 3 wires hooked up to it. So I've got fuel pump, ignition, and starter. 2.7, like I said, still a 200 head, 325i intake manifold throttle body, some sweet custom routing for idle air control and things like that. I should probably be concerned because the idle air valve is not humming yet or anything like that, but it's a long process. This harness actually came off the turbo unicorn, so it's got like a 5-foot AFM extension on it, which is super mint. But yeah, it's kind of a cool little project. It's nice to get my hands dirty again. I can't tell if we have spark, but it cranks, so that's cool. Let's rotate this plug a little bit. No spark. Okay. Well, we got more things to do. So I had everything kind of plugged in, and it turns out there's another small green wire on the late model ones, so I'm going to check for spark. Good spark. Huh. Okay. So we have good spark, but it won't fire up. Interesting. I almost wonder if the fuel lines are backwards. Well, that the X191 connector is completely hosed. So, as proof of concept, I've just hooked injector 1, 2, 3, which one of those is out right now, into power. Now I don't have cranking. Oh, it's because I somehow pulled that out. Oh, come on. That should be working fine. Okay, now I gotta figure out why it's not cranking. I pulled the thingy off the thingy. That smells a lot like fuel now, at least. So I flip-flopped to injector 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I just want to make sure it's good before I rebuild the... Okay, I shut that off. It is running on 3 cylinders. Now I just have to wire everything together, but yay!